What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I am coming at you from the Bosselman Pilot in Grand Island, Nebraska. Just picked up this load yesterday from Kansas City. Got out here about 1900 last night, and I will be delivering anywhere between 12 and 2100. Probably going to get over there at about 10:30, 11, something like that. My allergies are banging. I should have taken a Benadryl last night, but I didn't know that my allergies were going to be kicking like this. But what I wanted to talk about today is what the best thing you can do is, what's right for you, all that kind of stuff. But if you know me, you know that I'm not gonna tell you what's right for you. And I think that what you see a lot of on YouTube is a lot of people trying to tell you what's right for you, whether that's being a owner-operator, lease, company driver, or being in this industry in general. There's a lot of people throwing a lot of opinions out there. And one thing that I do, or I recognize, is that as much as I like it, don't like it, what I say has a lot of power. And that's not just me having a lot of power. That's anybody that puts themselves out there. Has some influence over somebody. And one thing that I'm never going to do is try to tell somebody what they should do. I have people messaging me, calling me, asking me to give them advice on what they should do, and I try to speak in as many different angles on that situation as I can, but I'm never gonna try to lead somebody in one direction or the other, because there's no right way to do this. There's no only way to do this. And I'm going to talk about a couple other different fields because I want to relate it to something outside of trucking. You know, let's say that you had, let's take the medical field. So you have 3 doctors. One has his own practice, one is on staff at a hospital, and one might be an anesthesiologist that kind of does their own thing. I've never heard any of these people say what's the best way to do it, but think about the doctor that has his own practice. Well, people are going to say, well, that's the way to go. I mean, you're going to make the bag, or whatever people say these days. You know, is that the right thing for everybody? If you're going to be a medical doctor and you're going to have a private practice, you know, think about all the headaches that go along with that higher income. Gotta hire staff, gotta lease their own buildings, gotta lease their own equipment. Your medical insurance is gonna be higher. I mean, you can go on and on and on about that. Everything that they need to go through to make that extra money. And on top of that, the chance of making less money or going totally broke. You know, you got the anesthesiologist that's kind of, you know, they have a business. You know, they are going to make a good living, but the stuff that they need to do, they need, just like the doctor possibly, going to have to set up their own 401k. They're going to have to, you know, they're not going to have any company benefits, paid vacations, anything like that. And I mean, we can go on and on about that. Or just a regular doctor on staff at a hospital. All company benefits. When they go on vacation, they don't got to worry about how the office is working. Money's going to be consistent. I mean, you can go on and on about, you know, the differences between all these 3. But one is not right and one is not wrong. We try to paint everybody into these different corners in trucking. There's always going to be benefit and negatives that go along with whatever you do. You know, you can look at the military. let's just talk. Everybody wants to talk about Navy SEALs, Delta, MARSOC. Let's say somebody has a college degree and they go enlist in the military as opposed to going in as an officer. You have a lot of people saying that's a bad move. You should be an officer. Well, you know what? Being an officer isn't the right move for everybody. Being an officer, a lot of times is going to keep you from doing what you actually want to do. If you're a Navy SEAL or Delta or something like that, a lot of times you're going to be spending more time on paperwork, administration, stuff like that, than you are in direct action or whatever you actually went in there to do. And it really is something that I think is a disservice when people are trying to dissuade people from doing one thing or another. I see it a lot on Facebook. Somebody will say, talk about being a company driver. Then you got some lease driver saying what, they're stupid or they should be doing this, or, well, what about all the lease operators that failed? What I'm going to suggest is that you write down all the benefits that go along with each one of these, along with the negatives. If you're at Prime, you may only have like 3 different things to choose from: company driver, lease, and then lease purchase. Now there is there's a difference between lease and lease purchase. I see it thrown around. I see lease purchase thrown around in place where it's not actually the case. I mean, you can buy out a regular lease, but that regular lease is not a lease purchase. But before you upgrade, or maybe even after you've been a lease operator or a company driver for a while, just sit down, write down the benefits and negatives of being a company driver. Same thing with lease, same thing with lease purchase, and see how those things balance out. There's a definite reason why being a company driver could be the route for you, depending on your situation. There's a reason that being a lease operator or lease purchase is right for you. But I'm never going to say what's right for anybody else, because I don't have enough information. And I don't know what somebody else is going through in it. They call people that choose to get on YouTube and run their fucking mouths, they choose to call them, or us, influencers. And a lot of what I say, I know can influence people in one direction or another, because people have told me that. So I really try to be careful in what I say. Because words have power. And all it takes is one impressionable person to hear somebody say that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that, that might tilt that, might change the direction they go, in turn could change their life. Now that could be for the better or for the worse. What I don't want is to have that on my shoulders. So I'll tell you what I did, why I did what I did. I can tell you why I was thinking about being a company driver when I came to Prime, but I'm certainly not going to tell anybody what's right for them. Blaze your own path. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Comment, subscribe. I'm out.